Hi, this is Dodger and you're watching my show. So I believe we have some E3 predictions to make. E3 is basically going to be all of next week. Monday is going to be entirely like a conferences day. It's not going to be a show floor day, but it really is going to span the entire week, so it's going to take up a lot of our time and energy. But something that I've always found very fun is to sit around with friends who are also involved in the industry and think, what do you think is going to happen at this year's E3? So this year I figured I'd bring you guys in on that and tell you what my predictions are for this year's E3, and then we can come back to this video later and say, nailed it. Or, you know, didn't nail it at all. Prediction number 1. I'm fairly certain that this year we're going to see mobile games being marketed as more of a hardcore form of gaming for the first time ever. I think that we're going to see a lot more real games or games with a much more real game style being ported to tablets and phones, things like that. And I also think we're going to see a lot of technology that's going to be focused on maintaining quality while increasing the mobility. Prediction number 2. Now we know that Microsoft has quite a bit of backtracking to do, and I think that it's definitely going to happen at E3, especially in terms of DRM and used games. Now, the other thing that I'm almost sure is going to happen in the community is we're going to see this increased optimism about Sony and the PS4 purely because while Microsoft is busy backtracking and fixing things that they've said in the past, we're going to see Sony stay completely silent, and it will be considered that they sort of won this argument without doing anything, even though in reality they're just being a bit more shady about what their views are on DRM and used games. Number 3! I think that we're going to see Nintendo really utilizing this discontent that people have for the new consoles and focusing more on one of their original IP. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I think that they're going to focus very much on a game that they know is a for sure seller. Now, this would work very, very well if they were one of the first ones to have a conference, but again, remember, they are not having a conference at E3, they're just streaming a sort of conference to any Nintendo users. So, rather than having it before or during, like in the middle of all of these other press conferences, it's going to be the next day early in the morning. So it might turn out that Microsoft and Sony have a lot of really good things to say at their conferences, and then whatever Nintendo has might pale in comparison. But again, if Microsoft and Sony don't sack up and show us something good, then Nintendo might have something that really pulls people back toward them. Prediction number 4. Okay, look, we've seen the Xbox One. We still have not seen a PS4. I think at E3 we're probably going to see a PS4. I also believe very strongly that Microsoft and Sony are not stupid. I think they're going to show up with a price. They're going to say how much it costs, because if one of them shows up with a price and the other one doesn't, then the one that doesn't is the one that's going to look like a little bit weird and shady, right? I think both are going to show up with a base price. Now, I also think that Nintendo is going to use this opportunity to announce a price drop on the Wii U. Now for number 5, my final prediction. I think that Sony is going to wind up seeming the winner in terms of games this year. Let me explain why. They have The Last of Us coming out, which so far is receiving critical acclaim from everyone, but not only that, they've also made it very clear that they have intentions to talk about The Last Guardian, which people have been waiting for so long. Many of us have assumed that this game just got canned, and maybe it did. Maybe that's what they're going to finally tell us outright is, you know what, we're just not making this game. But if they were to tell us a release date for The Last Guardian, I think they'd win it, guys. And obviously by win it, I just mean that more people in the community would be talking about the games that were featured at E3. So, honestly, I think Sony has a really good shot at winning this. I think that they have a really good shot at being the ones that really came forward as an actual game console. Nintendo, I think because they've already released, the only thing that they can do is bring up new IP, which is totally fine. Or even old IP, but like a new part of the franchise, right? With Microsoft, we just want to see games. Just show us a game, not a cutscene. A game! So those are my predictions. Do you agree with them? Do you not agree with them? Do you think I'm crazy pants? Let me know in the comment section how you feel, and otherwise, Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to have coffee with me, you can click wherever I put the annotation and it'll take you to my other channel. But otherwise, I hope that you guys had an amazing week. I hope you will join us for E3. I'm going to be on lots of live streams for the Game Station, but I'm not sure where they are going to be yet, in terms of like where they're going to be streamed, so I can't tell you where to go. But I will be tweeting about it, so if you follow me on Twitter, there's somebody's honking up a storm. If you follow me on Twitter at Dexbonus, DEXBONUS, then you will be up to date on what's going on with me. But yeah, I will talk to you guys then. Awesome. Okay.